I would take 100 bears over like 10 bees, you know, because they just buzz and the meat bees just
I think 100 bears at a campground would feel a little overwhelming.
I think they
You're like the lone camper and there's 16 bears circling your campsite. You'd be like, I think I need to go home.
I think those bears would just be bored and the bees would still be biting you. Oh man. So anyway, I'm Jim Zellers.
I'm Alex Honnold.
And this is how we go camping.
This is not how we go camping. Look at this setup.
I know, isn't this perfect?
No.
Yeah?
No, it's sad. I think of camping as just living, but somewhere else that you want to be.
Yeah, I would say that camping would be the intro to getting outside because it's the first thing you would do, you know, is you go out and you just sleep outside somewhere.
I think for anybody going camping for the first time, it's a pretty big adventure to leave their home, go somewhere totally new, and just experience this new place. I think especially for kids, it's a tremendous adventure to sort of explore this new campsite. I mean, even if it's not that big of a geographic area, it's just still like new trees, new things, you know, you can wander around in the forest. You know, basically just having a new home for a short time is sort of a good adventure. So we're headed out, we're going car camping, we're driving to a campground, we're parking, we're staying in the campground for a few days. What do we take?
Number one, you want to revolve everything typically around two things. Your sleeping and your kitchen. We've got the kitchen out in front of us right now, to some degree, and and it can be pretty simple. I mean, a simple 2-burner stove, plates, cups, bowls, silverware, not a big deal. Oh, and of course, a guitar stirrer, so I love...
Did you make that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it seems like something you would.
My mother-in-law gave it to me. It's really special.
Nice.
Don't touch it.
I won't touch anything over here.
I don't know, what do you do?
No, I do the same thing. I think if you're camping in a campsite near your car, you may as well bring virtually all the same stuff you would use at home. You may as well just use the same pots and pans, same food, I mean, you're basically doing the same setup that you would at home. It's like, may as well be comfortable.
Right. Most people have 2-person tents. It's pretty easy to do that, but you can go to a 3, 4, 6-person tent.
If you're in a campground, you may as well have a pretty big tent because the weight doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, standing is getting like pretty luxurious.
It is pretty nice, yeah. And some people love a blow-up air mattress. Just something comfortable. You're not going out to be miserable. You may as well be comfortable. So,
I kind of agree.
Yeah, we're fighting for that.
If you're near your car and you know the weight doesn't matter, you may as well just have nice, comfortable things and have a nice time while you're camping.
Bring your house pillow or
Totally.
2.
Yeah, bring your normal pillow.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
1 for under your legs. Yeah.
Who sleeps with a pillow under their legs?
Not me. Just no different than at home. You know, most of the campgrounds, you go in a bottle.
Just like at home, yeah. You can't be bothered to go from the sofa to the bathroom. Like, whatevs. No,
it's the same.
Yeah, almost any, I mean, all campgrounds have bathroom facilities. So there'll be sometimes just an actual flush toilet with running water, sometimes a vault toilet where you're pooping into a hole and it gets taken out eventually.
Yeah.
But either way, there's always some kind of bathroom facility. I mean, if you're paying for a campsite, you should sort of expect like a few basic amenities.
But it might not have water. So that's one thing to check on, is that not all campsites have water. Well, I'd say when you go camping with kids, the kids are really excited. They're getting out of their house for the first time. They have open boundaries. They can run around. They can do whatever they want. They can make about as much noise as they want, you know? And it's this unlimited freedom that kids have when they go camping. And as a parent, you know, you can be setting up camp and they can be going nuts, but you can just let them do it. You know, it's a really comfortable feeling to watch your kids go play in the woods. First of all, you get some really dried, aerated, it's either dried grass or something.
Pine needles, maybe.
A little bit of pine needles.
Like
they kind of get a little denser. Duff is probably the better way to put it.
Yeah.
On top of that, you put very small sticks, like tiny sticks that are just like smaller than a straw.
Twigs. Twigs come next.
Then twigs come next. Yeah. And your goal with this whole thing is to light it with 1 match. You don't need to go grab more stuff to put on it.
You don't need lighter fluid?
Yeah, that's a fire. No, you want to keep it simple in that way and keep it starting at small. It's 1 match, it's not a big deal.
I mean, honestly, if you're doing campfires, you should sort of recognize that there is a chance you're starting a forest fire.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Like, forest fires do often start through accidental human, you know, just like, oh, I was making a fire, it got out of control, or I was like playing with whatever and it got out of control. So I guess if you're starting a campfire, you should probably have water nearby, like a fair amount of water, just in case things get out of hand, just in case you go a little crazy with your fire. You should be able to put it out. So when you're done camping, the next morning there's normally a checkout time. You basically get up, you pack up all your things, you put them back in the car, and when you drive out of the campsite, you should be sure that it looks exactly the same as when you got there, or preferably better.
Probably better, because sometimes it looks pretty bad when you show up.
Yeah.
But the one thing I would do, the first thing, one of the early things I say I do in the morning is as soon as you're done with your tent, you get everything out of your tent, you flip your tent over and let the bottom dry out. A lot of times you don't know that there's been condensation on the bottom of your tent. And if you fold your tent up and it's wet,
then it molds.
it'll mold.
Same with your sleeping bags and everything.
Yeah, you hang your
like
sleeping bags
air
up.
things as much as you can.
Yeah.
Let things dry out. Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in giving something fresh air.
Yeah.
So as well. I just feel like anytime you do how-to and explanatory videos, it's always like to sell product. And so you don't really need product to go do a cool thing. Even if you don't own any camping gear, but you're interested, you can still drive to a campground, park, have your futon from your house in the back of your car, have some blankets, have like normal food from your kitchen in your car. It's like basically you can still go camping without any equipment. Because yeah, camping is way more comfortable when you have a nice, fancy, puffy sleeping bag, like a nice down sleeping bag, super warm, super light, like that's great. But if you don't have it, wrap yourself in a quilt and you'll be like, oh, it's kind of chilly last night, but you still had a good experience. And then if you're really into it, then buy a nice sleeping bag.